business continuity in the time of COVID is proving a real challenge worldwide. And while many Aussie business leaders are quickly finding themselves left behind, at least according to the latest research by recruitment firm Robert Walters. Well, to walk us through the findings, ANZ Managing Director James Nicholson joins us live from Sydney. James, great to have you on AusBiz. What's the deal? We thought that everybody had this big mindset change when it comes to work from home, no?
Not strictly, no. I think there's quite a few businesses that are a little bit slow to pick up the feedback, and there's definitely some differences between us over here and probably the US and Asia. There were definitely some big blue chip companies that failed to get going quickly when it came to working from home and didn't have the tech simply and didn't have the hardware to facilitate it. So there's a lot to learn, and attitudinally I think there's still a deep suspicion from leadership in a lot of companies that you will get the same results whilst working from home.
Now that some of those tech solutions are being implemented, granted they might not have been created here in Australia, how does that attitude have to change further in order to create this work from home culture and just an efficient, trustworthy culture within workplaces?
Well, I think time's going to be critical. I think what it will do and what the COVID situation will help accelerate, if anything, is it will help accelerate the mindset that it's going to become a natural rhythm to the workplace that more and more people do work from home in some capacity. I think what it won't do is it won't support the headlines or the sensationalist headlines around entire firms will work from home from here on in. I don't think that's necessarily a feasible or natural solution either. So I think what it will do is it will accelerate the pathway to more and more people working from home. But I think there's still an awful long way to go. And bearing in mind we're only 4 months into this pandemic locally, whilst yes, it's horrific and it's been a long time, I think it's too soon to be sort of betting the kitchen sink that 5 years' time from now everyone will have completely altered their ways because of it.
I'm curious, when it comes to why you think some have been reluctant to change their view on work from home, what do you put that down to? Is it a certain type of company? Is it a certain type of leader? You know, there are some who think that some workplaces don't want you to work at home because they just like keeping better tabs on you. They like knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, I think there can be a bit of that us and them mentality, but then at the same time, you know, a few years ago, any pre-existing firm was being sort of almost lectured to by the tech firms about what the workplace should look and feel like, and that, you know, the office should be set out in a certain way with games rooms and cafes and yoga rooms and all the rest of it. Now, all of that's gone out the window as well with the pandemic because people don't want those shared spaces and they can't trust the cleanliness of them. So I'm not necessarily sure it's people being stuck in their ways or a certain type of business. I think, again, it comes down to that supposition that, you know, what is now has to be forever. And I don't necessarily think that a business leader can look at the results now as being typical of the results that they're able to make serious decisions on for the future. So most people have had a downturn in results over the last 3 months, and people have been working from home by default. I think where it's going to become a bit more obvious is when the markets return to normal, and then you've got a proper comparison between results in a normal market whilst people work from home versus results in a normal market when they're not working from home. I mean, businesses are obviously up, you know, they're responsible to shareholders and they've got to deliver results. So whilst it might be that some employees would like to carry on working from home or exaggerate that working from home capability, there's obviously someone's got to be responsible for the results. And if a firm doesn't feel it can get results with people working from home, then they have to probably change the path in which they operate. And I think there are clearly some firms and some organisations, some sectors that rely on people collaborating effectively face to face. And tech is not an alternate. It's a supplement, and it's been useful in these conditions, but it's most definitely not an alternate to face-to-face communication.
Well, James, it's been fantastic having you join us on the program this afternoon. We look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.